SNB sesame salt. Tattoo machine. Welcome to this podcast where we talk about Sid's finances. Audio re, bhai re. You really do need new headphones. Do you? Mhm. Checking. Hello. I can hear me. Sid is dead. Bro, you're mute. Restart your. Try. Restart your droid cam if that's the case. Bro, your voice is still out.
The green thing is
I can't
so
hear you on the
glowing,
stream.
blinking.
Just. Oh, Sid, you're back. Okay. Can hear you.
I
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Okay, what about now?
Okay, I can hear myself. Yes.
No, I can't hear you, bro.
Okay, what about
I
now?
can hear.
Okay,
Bro.
yeah, I
All
can
of us are
do it.
there. All of us are there. Now I
Okay.
can hear all.
This is what happens when you don't do Droogs for like 3 weeks because all the old settings were there in this and I had to change all of them again.
What happened
But
to the
Sid,
shit y'all
I
had
don't
to
know.
do before? By the
Sid,
way,
I don't know what happened to your audio though because it just came out of nowhere. But hey guys, welcome to the first Droogs of this year. We're going to be talking about
Yes.
Don't Look Up. And Audie suggested this. So if you guys hate this
Yes.
podcast, you can blame him. He's here or here. I don't know, depending on where
Audie
you're
did
watching.
suggest this. Honestly, I wouldn't
suggest
have
this.
watched it if Audie didn't suggest.
Yeah,
like,
neither
tell
would
us to watch
would
it.
I'm ready to go on a monologue anytime, so you guys can start off with your opinions of the movie.
I'm very indifferent about it. I really
Nice
don't
opinion.
give a shit. I was literally watching it while working.
I dedicated 2 hours of
just
my
one
life to
thing.
watch this trash. So
Yes, he did. And I really don't get American humor like with all my movies and everything I've seen that people love. Like I don't understand it. Like people have shat on me for not getting American humor with like Pineapple Express.
Pineapple
Big
Express
Lebowski. Like,
is
I don't
not
like any of those
humor.
movies.
It is literally a movie about weed. If you
apparently
take
is.
away the
And
weed,
also
there is
Big
no movie.
Lebowski.
Big
What is
Lebowski
Pineapple Express?
also.
I do not like those movies at all, but people like call them like the
What?
top whatever movies of all time. So
Yeah,
What
that's
is
that's
the
because
Pineapple
we
Express
are like
supposed to?
the Pineapple Express is basically a movie about weed. Okay, it's about weed. It's
a
about
weed
people
movie.
smoking up. It's about people smoking up, and then people smoke up afterwards, and they don't get weed for a while, and the movie gets like literally so slow you want to kill yourself, and then people smoke up again, and then you want to kill yourself because the movie ends and you just saw people smoke up.
And if you tell people,
Interesting.
they're like, yo, you don't know, dude, you don't smoke weed, you won't get it. Like they tell you shit like that.
Yeah, like these stoner movies are just like no way for me.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, if you watch funny shit, like Monty Python, like those movies are fucking funny. Like this, I never get American humor. Like I've never understood it.
You'd be hard pressed to find someone who'd
Okay,
actually
listen,
actively
Sid.
watch
I
Monty
wouldn't say
Python
that's.
in this decade.
I wouldn't
Anyway.
say it's American humor. I would just say that's like Seth Rogen humor because all his jokes rely on weed.
But name one. Like I haven't found any like American comedy film funny like ever in my life that I watched.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
I just thought I don't get American humor. That's what I thought.
Well,
So I've
American humor
always
is like
been like.
tuned towards them, right? They just make it for their own audiences. And I think nowadays the movies are just coming out to the rest of the world because it's mostly American shows being projected towards the world as well. So they are under the impression that everyone also has a fair idea of what American humor is all about. That's why the movies are just
Yes, they think everyone knows what.
they just assume that everyone.
See, if you say American humor, that's like, cool, but that's Jim Carrey. But that's because he's Jim Carrey. So that's like
yeah,
a
see,
totally
that's
different.
That's not
American
American.
humor. See,
Yeah, but that's different from like
the
other
early
shit that I've
days
seen,
of
like,
Adam Sandler.
That's
Yes.
what?
The early days of Adam Sandler. Before
Yeah,
before
those
every
are-
movie became literally the same fucking thing.
But Adam Sandler, like the movie of his I liked was Click, and that's like more emotional, I would say,
Which
than
one is
funny
Click?
also, right? It's the one where he can remote
Oh
control,
yeah,
he
that,
gets,
yeah.
like, this
I think that was
kick-ass-
just him being like, okay, all these idiots on the internet are saying I can't act, so I'm going to act. I'm going to act for once.
Yeah.
Like one movie, I'm just going to act, and then after that, I'm going back to this bro shit that I always do and make billions of it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it was just whatever, like I don't even know.
Great, we're ready to wrap up. Then that's it for this episode. Thank you
I
for
fell
joining.
asleep. I fell asleep watching it also, by the way.
Really, I was just like I was doing this like I'm literally looking at the monitor. I was watching it on. I was like this for 2.5 hours.
For 2 hours straight, holy shit.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
Drew
no,
gave it
sorry.
more
At
than
one
me.
point, I was like, and then I finished the movie right there. It
Did
is
he die?
absolutely terrible.
Okay, he's
I
back.
Yeah,
literally,
he
yeah. Basically, that's what happened. I died. I died inside.
And why the fuck do people like it so much? That's what
No,
I
the thing
thought.
is, it's not as well liked as you think. I went digging a little bit, and a lot of
Yeah,
people
even I
hate
went
it.
and digging-
A lot of people do hate it.
Yeah. Critics hate more than like the audience do in all
Of
the
course, it's a
ratios I
terrible
saw.
fucking movie.
I know, of course.
How did it manage to get top 10 in India or top 10?
Dude, it broke
in suggested?
Netflix weekly viewership records. Like what?
Yeah.
I guess that was just because of the actors.
Okay,
so
okay,
people
wait.
clicked on it.
I've told this before on the podcast and to you guys, but I'm going to say this again for anyone who's listening. What Netflix does is they take elements, successful elements from different shows that you
Yeah.
like, and they add it together to make something that they know for sure you will watch, even if you don't like it. And the minute they get somebody to watch it, their job is done. So the budget
Yeah,
of
that's right.
the movie doesn't matter as long as a billion people watch it.
Yeah, and people were just like, "Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, click."
Meryl Streep is like
Meryl
a automatic
Streep.
click for
Yeah,
most
of
people.
course. Dude, that's
I
the
will say I
worst
did end
role,
up watching
think.
the
That's
movie
Meryl
because of
Streep's
Leonardo
worst
DiCaprio.
fucking role.
All of them had the worst fucking role. All of them were
Yeah,
so
that's
underutilized. Maybe except Leonardo
Yeah.
DiCaprio, I would say. But all rest of them were all underutilized as fuck.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, that's true. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I really am very indifferent towards it.
Okay, but let's
But
talk
yeah.
to the man himself. Welcome, Mr. Audi, who... Sorry, wait, I actually have a mic. Why am I pretending to hold a mic? Welcome, Mr. Audi, who told us that he felt like laughing, but then didn't laugh for some reason. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, that's it. You may start.
Don't look up. What is it about? It's a movie about two astronomers who discover a comet that is hurtling towards the Earth, and it's set for destroying the Earth in about 6 months' time. And these guys try to put out the message to the whole Earth that they are about to die in 6 months, but they realize that the world is very indifferent to the whole situation. They don't really care about it, and this is kind of their story of them trying to get the message out and eventually just not caring about it themselves again. It was supposed to be a comedy movie. At least that's how it was portrayed to be. And they were trying a lot of jokes with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence trying to meet the president and all that, and Jonah Hill just sitting there as the Secretary of Defense. But
Yeah, wasn't he the chief of staff? Isn't the Secretary
chief
of
of staff,
Defense?
I don't care. I just thought he was like a very important role in there, and he was just there, sitting there along with the president. Or
Well, it's nepotism. Like
supposed to be his
he's
mom.
literally he's the son of the president.
Yeah.
Him just saying the casual like fucking millennial lingo that while being the chief of staff seemed a bit off-putting at the beginning itself. I just saw that it just fucking scratched against my heart a little bit, and the cringe just started flowing from that point forward. But the only reason I did suggest this movie was because the way the people actually did react to such a thing. Because having seen how people reacted to the pandemic, I figured, yeah, this does seem this does seem like a reaction that would come from people, if even if they were told a fucking extinction level meteor was coming their way.
I heavily
That's
disagree,
it.
but we can go on.
But they wouldn't. Yeah, but continue.
Okay. And in the end, I expected laughs, not that funny. I more often than not just hit my head again, hit my forehead every single time, like some cringe shit happened. And I just disappointing ending towards the end.
What was disappointing about it? Oh, towards the end, what kept you going till the end, might I ask?
And I just was sculpting during like 1 hour of the movie, and I just kept tuning in every
But
now
by
and
the way,
then.
you can like it. Like, we're not saying you should hate it. You can
Nah.
give your opinion. It's okay.
Yeah. Also, mind you, Audi did change his opinion. I will say because he definitely said
Yeah, like
he
if-
found it funny, but then he also found it too relatable, so he didn't laugh. Do we have this on message? Do we have written word about this? I wonder.
By the way, like Audi, like Drew likes Sword Art Online. I think it's shit. Like, but
Sword
that's
Art
what we think.
Online
We're
is
not gonna
beautiful.
change it
Fuck
because
you.
we are the fucking ass.
Fuck off. The first season is beautiful.
That's not gonna change, Audi. Okay, see, so you can still have your opinion.
Sid, do you have COVID
Nah.
because you got no taste?
I guess. Sure.
Audrey say I
I'm
didn't hear him.
not even. Can you hear me?
I said, do you have COVID because you got no taste?
Oh,
Oh.
dude, when you speak loudly, your voice just buzzes so much. I just hear like like glitchy
I see.
sounds. But yes,
But no.
continue,
I'm just
Audi.
similar. I wasn't really laughing too much, laughing out loud. It was just chuckles here and there, I guess. Every small jokes now and then.
Aha! So you did chuckle. See, you said you didn't laugh at all.
Got live in 1080p. We don't have 4K,
Yes.
but yeah.
Got live.
Got
But yeah,
live handed.
Mainly the message that people would act as if the way people are thinking that the pandemic is a lie. They thought the meteoric event was also a lie. Don't look up. The basis of the whole movie itself. Don't look up towards the meteor.
That's.
See, thoughts. Go on. You started. Just go on. You seem to have a reaction to the line, don't look up.
I don't fucking know. I'm just off. I don't know. Like, I have no words about the movie itself. I just figured we'd watch it and talk about it because it was trending on Netflix at the time. Figured we'd ride the.
There you go.
algorithm, I
We
guess.
sold out.
Yes,
we
'cause
just
that's what we do. Right?
we sold
That's what
out
we do.
apparently. We talk about trending
shit.
stuff now.
Like Clockwork Orange
Yes.
and Donnie Darko.
Hey, but what did you like about the movie? I am genuinely curious.
Acting, I guess. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Was very
Okay.
genuine in
Listen, they
his-
literally got all the stars. Like they literally got everyone they could. They crammed it pot full of famous people and famous actors. So
Yes.
of course the acting was good. What else did you like? I can't. Don't tell
Not
me that
much
the
else.
acting alone carried the entire movie for you. That's impossible.
Again, I didn't really watch the movie with like eyes peeled open. I was just switching in and out every now and then.
And you decided to make us go through it instead.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's okay to go through shit sometimes,
I have no words.
What do you have to say to that?
I have
dude?
no fucking words. Audi just admitted to intentionally cucking us.
Yes.
If that word is allowed on Twitch and so on.
Probably not.
But okay.
Yes, Adi, continue.
Sid, when Audi said the whole don't look up thing, you immediately reacted. Let's talk about that. What
No,
was
because
your...
he was comparing that situation with the pandemic.
Yeah, so
and the
talk about
similarity
it.
of how people reacted, which is total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, why is it bullshit?
Like the severity of a situation like that.
Yes.
Fucking hilarious. Like, people aren't that fucking dumb. And also, in the world, there are other countries and organizations and nations except the bubble that people live in called America, you know, where things happen without America's approval.
You know something. You know
Do
something.
you know about that?
You know something. I have looked through countless people talk about this fucking movie, and not one single person has said there is a world outside the fucking USA. No, they're all like,
That's
well,
like,
of
what the
course.
fuck? That's literally what I was thinking. Yeah.
And then like, well, the billionaire cut off China, Russia, and India. Well, I guess that's it for them. Like, what? You're talking as if China, Russia, and India don't have like insanely rich people with insanely good companies.
Yeah.
What's surprising that even when they do show the country's experiments, that the space experiments just immediately fail. There is no like chance of success at all. It's always the US has to be the one doing everything.
And that too, NASA, like, you know, only NASA exists. They don't know.
Yeah,
about
like,
anything
dude,
except
cosmonauts? Who are those? And also, NASA is only US, right? Like, there's no foreign nationality there at all. It's only the US. Sid, why do you switch off your video?
Yeah.
His video probably died.
I didn't switch off my video.
Oh, your video just went dark suddenly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
but can you hear me? My audio is there, right?
You're back.
Yeah, back. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, like, guys, like,
so
if you...
like, dude, you have like ISRO, JAXA, like all these things. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, dude, nobody even mentioned Japan. Like, you know, they were just like, yeah, Russia, China, India, those three. Japan has space studying people. They have people who go to space. No way.
Have a joint partnership with NASA for most missions. They always have like a Japanese person.
Yeah, but like, you know, if NASA isn't part of the equation at all, and it's just like some billionaire who's building his own rockets, there's no reason that literally any other country cannot just be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to do it either way.
It's like the fucking, it's like worse than the shit in like Record of Ragnarok where like Zeus is the king of all gods.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of shit.
Yeah. Oh, like, God freaking damn it. Like, it's just like, I don't know, some kind of American propaganda.
The whole movie is a meme. It's like, it's made, like, you can watch it on like TikTok or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I mean, no, it's actually like some weird American propaganda. Like, hey, if the US is not capable of it, the rest of the world is just screwed. Like this. Yeah, the rest of the world, if the US says that we are going to die, the rest of the world will be like, yes, we are dead. Screw it. We're just gone. That's it. Fuck it. And it's so freaking stupid. So freaking stupid. Also, like, I looked into the science of it, and apparently they had an astronomer working with them. So I will not comment on that because I am not smart enough to actually...
And the science of the comet crashing. Yeah, that is possible. Like,
no, so the thing is, she herself said that it is not possible for a comet to actually come and destroy the Earth in the way that the movie is showing it to be.
Not that way, yeah, of course.
But because like a lot of things are come in the way. Like Venus basically gets a lot of the comets and asteroids in its orbit, so it pulls it away from the Earth, so it doesn't reach the Earth's atmosphere at all. And when it does reach the Earth's atmosphere, most of them burn down before they can even come close to the surface.
Most of them burn down, yeah. And like theoretically, like also I've seen like when people have talked about like in billions, like many years, like something could come. Like they also talk about the sun swallowing Earth, but that's like, you know,
of course,
whatever. But
that's way
also like
far up.
Like even like small meteorites and stuff fall on Earth like every single day. You know, the size like smaller, like than, like, you know,
dust.
So that big. Also, I don't think we would find 6 months. I think we would have found it out years in fucking
probably
advance.
Yes,
because of the technology we have right now.
She said I forgot her name. I'm very sorry, but she said that the speed at which it was coming and the size of the comet were all realistic in terms of how long it would take to reach the Earth. But she did not talk about how long it would take to detect such a thing. But let's
Exactly.
see. We can't. When it comes to fiction, you have to agree to accept the base
that's
stupidity
fine,
of it, right? So the comet, fine, it exists. But if you look at the technology of the world has, like it's based on our current world.
The world being the keyword here.
Okay, sorry, it's based on the US right now. Now nobody else. But as humanity, we barely managed to land a rocket on a comet, and we just managed to land it. Let alone shoot out explosives, destroy it, and then mine it for minerals. So that
we did
part
get
was a
photos
little
back from
really
it.
annoying. Yeah, already there's a difference between photos and like fucking missiles blowing it up. I think there's a slight difference. I think the camera this small could fit in, but a missile this big is going to be a
I'm
slight
also
problem.
surprised that they managed, like using only 13 drones, they were able to take out a meteor that was supposed to be
They didn't take out the
10
meteor.
kilometers wide or something. Yeah, they did break it up in the end.
Like
but then
the movie, by the way, the CG was also mediocre.
Yeah, of course. They spent all their budget on actors. They had no money left over for CG.
They probably sent it to some production this in India. And they're like, yo, do this shit.
Did you work on it too?
I wish I worked on it. I would
Interesting.
have gotten good amounts of money for it.
No way you got good amounts of money for that level of work. Yeah. But either way, let's talk about a couple of things, okay? Like I must say, this movie, like it burnt like a deep anger within me, okay? Fine, it's supposed to be about climate change. And I must say, I looked into what the director, I forgot his name, and the woman who worked on him, and all these people. Yeah, it's supposed to be about climate change, completely about climate change. And I looked into the reactions from the creators, and they've said shit like, if you don't feel like there's a problem with climate change and the earth burning up, then you don't understand the movie. Like, holy fuck,
meteor though to represent it.
The meteor is supposed to be a metaphor for climate change, which is something the scientific community has been telling us about for a very long time. And
But
even
6
though there's so much
months
proof, nobody's willing to accept it. First problem is, why use a fucking meteor? Climate change is real. Just use climate change.
Climate change, yeah.
Climate change is
Have cities sink, have avalanches happen.
Yeah, like the scientific
earthquakes
community loves it because because they say this is the type of right-minded message you should put out. I agree, you should put out the message, but do you have to do it in such a brain-dead way? Can't you make an entertaining movie out of it?
Yeah, at least like if you're putting out a certain message, put it out in a nice way. Like, what the fuck is this? And you can't give the argument that if you don't like, you don't like climate change, like that's the dumbest shit to ever say. Like if the piece of work you've created is shit, I can still believe climate change and understand the urgency without appreciating
exactly. And apparently people don't agree with that. If you don't understand the urgency of climate change because of this one fucking movie, you don't get the movie. And the other thing is, so the Leonardo DiCaprio freak out on in the live show that he's in the movie was apparently inspired by, like, they asked the astronomer to let out her feelings to the public about how people should take this seriously, and Leonardo DiCaprio talked to her. They got it down into that one moment. They kept tweaking it around, and he tried like 13-14 times to actually say it. Cool. I can feel the beauty of that, emotion. Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio, good actor. But you're just like, okay, it's still too, I feel like, in the face, especially when you're... Okay, and here's the other problem. Looking at the picture on the stream right now is Meryl Streep clearly being like a portrayal of Donald Trump over here with her hat and with the this thing and Jonah Hill calling them all rednecks and all that. You're basically insulting the people you want to convince this of. You're not telling them like, hey, see meteor coming like that, like our world died. No, they're like, meteor coming. Look at you, dumbass. Like, if you support Trump, this is you. Like, how is that helpful? Like, if you as a scientific community want to make these people understand things, explain it to them. Don't mock them. The more you mock them, the more you're going to alienate them.
Yeah,
I think that's precisely why they preferred this way, that they think that it's a simpler way to get the message out there, because they think if they just go on about climate change, everyone's just going to ignore
for
them.
Americans, but they forgot about the rest of the world.
Yeah,
probably. They do show like small snippets of the rest of the world, when
No.
announcements and stuff going.
No.
Like small, just snippets.
That's not even a snippet. That's like a frame.
Like 2 seconds.
It
That's
was made for the American bubble.
Yeah.
What I'll say.
And
Bro, one second. Sid's video on Reddit is absolutely screwed. And Bouncy Baboon Cheeks on Reddit says, "Hi, what's today's topic?"
today's
Today we're
topic
talking
is,
about the movie Don't Look Up.
and you should look down in disappointment as per the title. Sid's video seems fine for me. Maybe it's just not synced up. Like maybe it was bad before, but now it's fine. But okay, so
Wait. The satire is often heavy-handed and not a perfect 100% mirrored representation of its subject matter.
yeah, I understand that. Listen, I am no stranger
Yeah,
to.
but satire also has to be good. Like it has to be done.
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it
You
has
can't
to be
just call
done
shit
well.
satire.
And you
Yeah.
cannot. I'm telling. I repeat. When someone is so anti-science, you cannot mock them so like this and expect them to change. All you are doing is pushing them further away. If the goal of this movie, as stated by everybody who created it, was to make people take climate change more seriously, and all you've done is you just made fun of them. I'm not a person who's anti-climate change. I'm not a person who's a Trump supporter or anything like that. I reject all these ideas. I'm as left-leaning as they go. But God damn it, don't make it mockery. That is not the way you make
Yeah,
people
and
learn
also-
things.
Also, we're seeing it as a movie. Like, does it stand on its own as a movie?
No,
Like,
it definitely does not.
Exactly. Like if you're talking about satire, like recently, if you like Jojo Rabbit, that was very fucking well in that movie. I thoroughly enjoyed Jojo Rabbit. Like it's not that we don't get it. It's just that you can't call anything satire and be like it's the same. Or like, oh, you don't understand it because it's satire
Exactly.
or some shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like this just reminds me of the whole Attack on Titan thing again, dude. It's like, oh, we're trying to explain a deep concept. You just don't understand. Like, no, you did it in a shitty way. I understand it. It's
Yeah.
just shitty.
It's just shitty. Yeah. Do a better job. That's
Yeah, like God freaking damn it. It's like, what is up with these people? Okay, I understand you're like frustrated. I'm frustrated. I have a dad who refuses to get vaccinated despite my best attempts to do it.
Yes, that
I
is
am
true.
regularly frustrated because it causes a lot of problems. But I don't go and be like, idiot, you're gonna die. No, that's not the way you reach out to people. You sit and try to explain it to them. If you're doing comedy, don't target out people this directly. You're like, come on. Like Meryl Streep is Trump over here. Like nobody can say otherwise. It's just so heavy-handed. It's not even funny. And I'm saying this because I know people like this. I know people like this.
Yeah.
He also says it's the equivalent of a political cartoon. The problem is the politics.
Hey.
The politics only applies to that country alone.
I have seen funny like Mutant Aliens, Bill Plimpton, like very good animated film. I love it. Now you can say that's like political humor, and that is actually funny. Like I do enjoy that film because over there he does it very well.
I would also say like Inside Job, the one I told you about, the conspiracy theory thing. It's a funny show.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it doesn't mock conspiracy theories to the point where they're like, okay, you know what, fuck you, dude. I'm going to hate you because you're mocking my entire being.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a way to do it where it's funny and
and it's
also
helpful. If your
gives a
goal
message.
is to be helpful, this is not helpful.
Yeah.
Like if your goal was to just mock people, okay, you did a great job, but you're trying
It's
to be
similar-
helpful, which is not good.
It's similar to the fucking Golmaal shit that releases in India.
Basically.
Shit. Fucking Rohit Sharma shit. Yeah.
And okay, Ariana Grande in the movie was just, I was like, you just wanted to
Yeah.
put her in, like, God freaking
Yeah,
damn
of
it.
course. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
And
he's
Kid
the one to
Cudi
put
as
her in
well,
there.
like, God damn it, spend your budget on other shit, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that was Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. Damn.
Bro,
Okay.
are you deleting a couple of comments?
I deleted a comment in this thing, YouTube.
ILA?
Spam.
On Reddit.
No comments on Reddit.
Okay, they are deleting. Okay.
Yeah.
There was just
It's
one
okay,
delete-
you
one-
can have your opinion. Don't offend it.
The comment just
Don't
said
delete.
that they wish that all American commentators had Indian accents for some reason.
Oh, yeah, I can see that here.
Cool.
Yeah, I know,
Sit
right?
and try to talk to
Anyway.
them on Jan 6th.
Toasty the Mosty, yeah. Sit and try to talk to them on Jan 6th. Again, what happened on Jan 6th was terrible, okay? The only people who are not taking it seriously is your own freaking country. Arrest those people, make them pay. No, that's not happening. But sitting and mocking them is going to lead to another Jan 6th. It's not going to lead to lesser Jan 6th. They're going to be like, oh, look at them. They're mocking us in open media now.
Yeah.
They're going to be completely directly hostile. So let us also be hostile. This is happening. You look at Reddit. There's so many right-wingers who are insanely angry that left-wingers are mocking them, and they actually
But don't
want to
look at
do
Reddit.
violence about it. Don't go through Reddit. Probably a good idea as well. Don't go through the political shit in any social media. It's not worth it.
Yes, please. Yeah.
And again, what I understand that you think that there's no use talking to them, but what's the other alternative? And again, this movie is about change, not about politics, about climate change. And do you honestly believe that mocking people this directly is going to lead to that change? I honestly don't. I genuinely believe that if you sit and mock somebody and expect them to take your side, you're just going to push them
This
way
movie
further away.
definitely isn't taking anything seriously that it's standing for. Like you get a clear idea of that when you watch the movie.
They are so.
Shitting if they say they are trying to do something, because like they definitely fucking aren't.
No, the thing is they are all very serious about it. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the, like, his house is entirely solar powered. He's very environmentally conscious, and that's one of the reasons he took on the job. But they didn't do a good job showing it. They are genuine. I'm not saying they're not. They just didn't do a good job showing it.
I understand Leonardo DiCaprio understands how. I'm not talking about things outside the movie. I'm talking about the movie by itself.
Yeah, that's what they didn't do a good job showing it, but they did.
Yeah, exactly.
They did genuinely want to do it. That's what makes me so angry, because you're like, you want to do something good. Just you could have done so much better in such a good way.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
no, so wait, I'm just wondering, like, okay, the meteor is a very simple way of going about it. It's like a very simple way of portraying the whole ideology that the world is ending because of climate change. How would you go about it with just like regular climate change alone? Like, would you just show a family sinking into the water or something because the ocean?
I think 2012 did a better job than this showing the fucking world ending.
I was just gonna say that shit. Holy shit.
God freaking damn it. It's like 2022. There needs to be another world-ending movie. Toasty the Musty says, I don't agree with shaming people, though it can be a powerful motivator, short term anyway. But that's the thing, short term. Even if you do convince them, it's going to be very short term. You cannot change people's mind by laughing at them. You need to make them empathize with you. And the more you mock someone, the more you belittle them, the more they are going to
extreme,
Yeah, they get pushed more and more.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that means everyone should just sit back and accept whatever is happening. No, fight back hard if they do shit. But if you're trying to help, if you genuinely want to convert people to listening to science, you need to be able to do it in a calm, collected manner without showing this insane bias over here. And I'm saying this all as someone who doesn't live in America. So, whether this helps or not in America is not going to affect me. But I just feel like it could have been so much better. Because even in India, climate change is not treated as a serious problem.
No one gives a fuck, dude.
But,
I think here we have like a million other problems before ever considering climate change.
Like first of all, no one recycles here. Even the garbage disposal shit in your house, they tell us, separate your garbage dry and wet. Only dry and wet, first of all. And then the boy comes, puts both in one fucking garbage can and takes it like...
That's true.
Separating it. Are you just pretending and telling us to do this shit for the fuck of it?
No, but here's the thing.
Make any sense?
So, actually, wait. While there is a large problem with people not taking climate change seriously, on the other hand, there are also a lot of people who do take it very seriously. Like, weirdly enough, my dad, who's an anti-vaxxer, so to speak, he's really, really concerned about the future of the world.
Concerned.
He believes everyone should go vegan so that we can reduce literally a lot of problems in the world. He has gone out for a lot of protests and stuff like that for climate change. Like, there's this place called RA Colony, which could have been cut down, and there was a huge protest about it. The cops came, they tried to arrest people. My dad, my sister, my mother, they were all there. And there are people there, especially the younger generation, like Mumbai banned plastic covers. A lot of places ignore the ban, but they're getting fined. And here near my house, very hard to get plastic covers.
You don't get at all. In years, I haven't seen any plastics being given to me for like anything.
When was it banned? Wasn't it banned like around like 2015 or something?
It took a long time for it to like become properly.
You have to get a cloth bag.
Yeah. So
like plastics are vanishing, like
Yeah.
from our localities at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is like that is something that here's the biggest thing. Here's the thing that pissed me off most about the movie. Like, this is a burning rage while I watched the movie. Okay. A lot of people were like, oh, the ending was so good, like, the world died, like, haha, the billionaire lost, ha ha ha. Like, you freaking morons, the world lost. The billionaire didn't lose, the world lost.
Yeah.
The billionaire went off to another planet.
The billionaire pieced out. He went to the other planet.
Yeah. Okay, fuck the fact that, oh wow, they discovered another planet that's worth living on, and they decided to go only after the Earth died, not before, because we humans would never do that. Elon Musk. but, okay, hold on. The scientific community has been using their inside voices for the better part of 2 decades. The movie is the voice of Hollywood. I haven't known Hollywood to say anything nicely. Yeah, again, I'm not saying Hollywood should be nice. I'm just saying you're not changing people. Yeah. You're not changing people's minds if that's what the whole point of the movie was. The point of the movie was to be like a fun time pass movie, works. But if the point was to be a catalyst to change, doesn't work.
No.
It's something you just like turn off your, like, people who like to like, turn off their brains and watch it. It's like this fucking soap opera level shit,
Yeah. And okay, so this movie is either for people who think they're like too smart, like Rick and Morty fans, or for the like people who are really dumb but they think they're smart. They're like, oh, you know what, freaking Earth going boom, ha ha ha, and everyone's like, ha ha ha, the billionaire couldn't destroy the. I'm like, yo, listen. Firstly, again, as we said at the start, there are other countries. The US is not the only freaking place in the world that can handle a catastrophic event. Secondly, this what pissed me off was that I cry every year when I watch Google's a year in review. Okay, I legit sit there and sob like a little kid because the way they show shit is just amazing. You have when it was Ebola, when it was COVID, literally anything, anytime the world has a huge problem, people come together to fix that problem. Okay, it might not be everybody. There are a lot of people who don't come together, but people come together. Whether it's flooding, whether it's tsunamis, whether it's earthquakes, whether it's like, I don't know, hellfire raining upon you, people will come together. People will provide for each other. People have donated food. People have donated clothing. People have donated toys for little children. People have gone to Africa to work so that people can have water. And I am 100% sure that if a meteor was coming down on Earth in 6 months, everyone in the open source community probably is going to make one software, hack into the Pentagon, send nukes flying up over there, some shit like that. The community will come together.
Even if the government, if it reaches a state where the governments are doing, people will themselves like fucking
exactly.
So like a full blown out war, like the people versus the governments, just to make sure that
they get to that stage. Also,
wait, let me be very clear. The first thing every government in the world did, whether they believed in COVID or not, was get the fucking vaccination. You know why?
The fucking vaccine.
Because when something threatens them, they make sure they're safe. So if something was actually hurtling towards you in space, they will tell you it's not a problem, but they will make sure they're safe in some way.
They will all close their fucking borders, lockdowns, vaccine, curfew. Like everyone all over the world, they've done that shit.
Exactly. And okay, forget even like giant communities. Okay, giant communities in the sense like countries. Linus Tech Tips.
Even people like Trump, for example, motherfucker himself took the vaccine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and he told them to take the boosters, and everyone turned on him.
During that message of his, he took the vaccine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's like I remember people getting pissed off about the climate change narrative in Happy Feet. People be offended over everything. Unfortunately, that's the thing. I don't care about offending people. I just care about doing it in a way that is actually entertaining and worth something. Because humor went out the window very quickly in this movie. If I may call it so. And here's the thing, Linus Tech Tips, a man who literally just sits with like insane tech around him, dedicated his entire office and warehouse to make masks and face shields for people so that they could go around safely during COVID. He spent so much of his own money. There are huge projects. Like if you look at I forgot the name of it, doesn't come to mind, but you can literally give your CPU and GPU power to help solve problems, help solve math equations, that helps in research for AIDS and shit like that, and AIDS, even COVID now. So the community will always come together. The community will always come together. No matter what happens, there will be some way humans will help each other out. And despite, I think humanity is a curse on the earth, but despite that, humanity will survive. Humanity will just
For
go on.
sure. Yeah, for
Humanity
sure.
will persevere. There is like no
And-
way we take this sitting down.
And also, like it's been happening also, like like we're doing, like if you talk shit about the movie, people will think you're against the fucking message, which is also
Yeah, which is
like,
stupid. It's
like,
absolutely
that's not what
stupid.
we are fucking doing. Like the comments we are getting, like not like just because we don't like the movie doesn't mean we fucking disagree with the so-called message they're trying to put out.
Yeah. Also, existing medicine 56 says Lund. Well, yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
To you
Interesting
too, my
Yeah.
friend.
Toasty the Mostly says if the meteor wasn't a planet killer, but rather a United States killer, would it have landed better? Just curious. You're missing the point. Whether it's a United States killer, or whether it's an India killer, or whether it's an Asia killer, or whether it's a Russia killer, I don't care. Humanity
Whatever,
will
yeah.
band together to stop it. Just because
Yeah.
you're a different country doesn't mean humans are not going to care. There'll be
Yeah.
a lot of people who want the US dead. I'm not saying that's not there, but there are tons of people who will want to save the US if a freaking meteor was rushing towards the US, ready to wipe it out. The world will come together to stop it.
Any disaster happens anywhere, like other countries send help.
Exactly.
You want
It happens every
If you
single
want an
time. Like you
example-
look at it anywhere. Yeah.
if you want an example that comes from the US itself, I think there was the most recent hurricane that hit one of the cities.
Katrina.
Was it?
I think it was
like
Katrina.
it basically tore through a city. Like it turned the city inside out, and the Punjabis that were there, followers, they basically held langars every day just to make sure that people over there were fed. And in these langars, they also kept clothing and kept
Exactly.
sort of accommodation so that people
A
just
lot like
survive.
fucking the 2011 earthquake. People from all around the world went to fucking Japan to help them and rebuild their
course.
shit. Literally.
Okay, the Mostly says I understand your point was a different question, homie. Relax. No, I must say I'm I'm agitated, but not because of you or anyone else who's commenting. I'm agitated because this movie ignored the biggest thing about humanity. It's the fact that humans will persevere no matter what. Okay. We might not do it because we care about the country. We might not do it because we care about the ethnicity or the religion of the other person, but because they are
do it
freaking
because they're
human.
fucking selfish.
Even if they're not selfish,
Yeah.
because they're fucking human. Because and also there are other things in the world that we need to preserve. Like there are so many animals, so many species, and I personally know tons of people who will not try to save the world for humanity's sake, but will try to save it for the rest of the life's
Yeah.
sake. There is just absolutely no way. Yeah, like my dad. In Chennai, there was a tsunami when we were living there. There was a tsunami that devastated a huge part of the city.
2011 one.
I don't
right?
remember
Yeah.
if it was 2011. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's
no,
the same
not
one.
2011. Not
It's the
2011. This was
It is
before.
the Jakarta
2003,
earthquake.
2003 or 2004,
Oh, 3.
somewhere there.
Okay, that's okay.
And what we did was the minute the tsunami hit, we were all at home. We saw the news. The minute we knew it was clear, we went around the neighborhood. Okay, one guy in the building offered to have like a giant room in his house just as a storehouse, and we made sure we got donations from everyone in the entire area that we were in. Got all the donations into that room, and then we shipped it out to all these people. And that is just something that we did as like one building. Okay, not even like one entire city coming together. The issue with your point is that most people will always come to help. The problem is that it may be way too late by the time we get the chance. I agree. It's important for other people to know what's happening. It's important for the world to come together on this. But the movie did not address the fact that there are so many people who will step up and make sure things will get better. Irrespective of, like, even now, climate change is a problem. But do you realize how much we've already done? The movie just makes it seem like only scientists care. Like, anyone who's not a scientist doesn't give a shit. No, there are so many people who understand that the threat is real. Like, imagine how freaking bad. Like, COVID was a very big inspiration for the movie. They rewrote the script
Dude, also
multiple
COVID,
times.
Yeah, like a lot of people, most people understand, how serious this shit is, and also the rate at which we like develop the vaccine. Like, like
Exactly.
it
What?
was pretty fucking fast.
I wanted to bring this up. Wait.
Yeah.
There was a woman who researched a vaccine for the SARS-CoV variant. Let me just check if I can find her name.
About that image that surfaced on Reddit, right? The woman who wrote a whole research on the virus itself.
No. So there was a woman.
SARS-CoV-2 or something.
So the COVID thing it's not new, right? It's the coronavirus is something that has been on Earth for a very long time, affecting humanity for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's also a canine coronavirus which our dogs are vaccinated for. So
like different varieties.
Yeah.
I know.
So the SARS COVID research was being done for decades by this one woman who didn't get funding. Okay, she found it very hard to get funding. She still continued the work. Everyone told her it was useless. And they used her entire life's work to create the vaccine at short notice because she was the only one who freaking did the work. And
Genius.
that is humanity coming together, like one person, even without realizing the effects of her work, we could just manage.
Would love to mention her name if possible.
Yeah, I'm searching. I'm not able to find her name.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, but like I just sat and thought about that for like half an hour. Like, holy shit, this woman, she had no reason to do this. Everyone told her it was a stupid thing to do. Nobody could have predicted that COVID-19 would destroy the world.
Yeah.
Is her name Kati Kareko?
I'm not sure. I'm really not. I'll try to find it and put it up somewhere. But like that's the reason the vaccine was made so quickly. And if so many people, like I said, Linus Tech Tips, they made masks, they made face shields. There were these two students who managed to 3D print. I don't remember what it was. They managed to 3D print something which helped them help patients with heart and lung related issues due to COVID-19, and they sold it for $10 because that was like the least they could do because they could keep printing more and more. While the company sold it for like $10,000 or something. They had the chance to make a fuck ton of money. Even if they sold it at 5,000, they're going to make such a huge profit. But they sold it at the bare minimum to make sure that people would be alive. Like I'm telling you, like if the movie seems like a doomer movie, okay, I have a little more hope for humanity than that. I think we're all going to if someday we're all going to be extinguished, of course, but
it's gonna take a
fucking
while.
You're not going to get rid of humanity for a long time. Also, Toasty the Post mostly says, I agree with you. The movie is heavy-handed and likely less productive in changing people's minds than vice versa. Yes, thank you. And Toasty the Mostly says, Burb, much love to you, Toasty brother. Says, thought gentle. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah, you're right. It's Kathleen Kariko. Apparently, she dedicated her whole life to doing messenger RNA, mRNA, and that was the basis of the research required to make the vaccines for COVID.
Exactly.
Genius. Fucking genius. Yeah.
Anthony Fauci himself was like, he's discovered the foundation upon which everything is made on.
Yeah. And dude, like there's so many things. Like Nikola Tesla might have lost against Edison in his time.
Yeah, exactly.
But Tesla is considered a fucking genius right now. Everybody loves Tesla.
He's considered a fucking legend right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Marie Curie. Like the scientific field is filled with these geniuses, and I understand their frustration. I'm not saying I don't, but like humanity is going to come together. What was the name of the woman who invented Wi-Fi? The actress who became.
Oh, I forgot her name. Yes, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh my God, Hedy Lamarr. Yes, thank you.
Yes, Hedy Lamarr.
She was making it for the military, and then it became freaking Wi-Fi, and the internet. The internet was released for free.
Yeah, the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Even
hasn't the internet always been a government concept to begin with?
The government,
military concept.
Yeah. The internet technically belonged to the US government at one point, but then it was then put out. But yeah, like again, there's so many things like freaking the plague, right? Everyone talks about how the plague destroyed so much of Europe, but it would have destroyed so much more if people didn't quickly start taking the precautions that they did. Even in that rudimentary stage of humanity where they didn't have the technology we have today, they managed to figure out what causes it to tick and managed to, adjust their lives accordingly. Like the plague doctor masks are literally one of the examples of that. It's just sad that so many people died. But
it recently came back for a small while again
it did,
in China. But anyways.
Yeah, like the actual plague.
Yeah, the actual fucking plague.
Todd Dental says, hello, new friends. Very much enjoying your stream. Thank you. We're glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
And this is a nice discussion. Well, yeah, we're getting a little too into it.
Should thank Audi.
Insulin, that's another great thing.
Yes.
Insulin, penicillin. Alexander Graham Bell and our boy here. So Frederick G. Banting, the guy behind insulin.
Yeah, and insulin, he sold the patent for $1.
Yeah,
What?
apparently there's like a whole story around it where there were kids basically dying left, right, and center in a hospital, but no one really knew the cause behind it. It was some gastro problem or something like that. That's what they thought, anyways. And then this guy comes in with something called insulin, and they just basically poke it into the stomachs of these kids. And then by the time the nurses reach the end
Fine.
of the time, the first woke up. They were all comatose, and they just woke up after that.
Yeah, a lot of these inventions
everyone
have
has,
helped us. Is the reason
selfless
we're not stuffing maggots in our
contributions.
wounds right now. Like humanity's gone pretty far.
And they're not putting people. They're not like executing people in public for saying that the Earth revolves around the sun. Yes.
Yes, that is true.
Like
A couple of places are still there.
no, I'm pretty sure everyone is like, okay, the Earth revolves around the sun. My God.
But yeah, they could have still, done it in a better way.
Oh, one sec.
Like there
Scott Gentle says, absolutely love the upstander instead of bystander mindset of these gentlemen. So now here's the thing: we are useless. Okay, I'll be the first to admit the three of us
useless.
fucking useless. Like we try what we can, but we are useless in the grand scheme of things.
We are dumb
There
as
are a lot more
We are
people who do a
scrappy
lot
at
more than
best
we
and
do.
dumb when it comes to the
Hey,
large
also,
scale of things.
yeah, there are lots of we're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
also, like, if we the dumb people are saying this is shit, you know how shit it actually is. Yeah, that's all.
And Toasty the
Government
Musty
who's not
says,
funded and supported by educated people, they should have a better
What?
opinion of this.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he say?
Toasty the Musty
you
said, what would be a better extinction metaphor than a comet, in your opinion? See that.
Pandemic.
Yeah, like you if you're being
2012
that on the
basically.
nose, it can just be the pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. It's just
And
right there.
The point as well. Like I
There
think
are
like
lots of apocalypse movies,
Exactly.
like with disease, winter, and all that shit.
Yeah.
That are kind of a metaphor. Like they've been happening for years. Like you see any apocalypse movie, it's giving a commentary on
Yeah.
that technically.
It's just that
Indonesia has
it
like
exists
it's just that I feel like this
every
movie
year.
was a release of frustration more than anything else, which is why I do not like the base message of it. Like, you are not telling people, you're not telling people, hey, listen to the science. You're telling to people like, listen to the fucking science or else.
Yeah.
And the minute people hear it that way, they're like, or else what, motherfucker? I have guns. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fuck you up. Ooh.
There's a ways to do it, dude. Like even fucking Nausicaa, Miyazaki's Nausicaa, like that's a beautiful commentary because that's like the future after everything goes to shit. Even that's done, in such a nice way. You get the message about like how important nature is and you should preserve it and climate change and all that stuff from a movie like Nausicaa, which is it's a legendary movie. It does the job of being really beautiful on its own, passing a powerful message. It has a very good like main protagonist, she believes in what she stands for. You can see that throughout the movie, through all her actions, and because of that you're like, oh shit, yeah. And even like if you watch this movie, no matter what you are, you can't say you don't enjoy a fucking Ghibli movie. Come on, like that shit is beautiful. Like just looking at that, so like stuff like that maybe can change people's mind, but not stuff like this.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, like, since you mentioned nature, like I know this person, a woman who really helps donkeys and horses mainly, but she also has a lot of dogs.
The horse lady you mentioned, right?
Her son works with cheetahs in Africa. Like he's been helping preserve them for a long time. And what do you know? After 70 years today, I read that India finally has cheetahs again. After 70 years.
Goddamn.
70 freaking years. India, there was one village and the government wanted to destroy, I talked about this on the podcast before, the habitat of a tiger called Avni, where they said that the tigress was a man killer and she had to be put down even though there was no evidence of the fact. And India banded together to make sure that she lived. In the end, she died, and it became an even bigger cause. And now there's so many NGOs have come out of that one particular event because people were like, "You fucking killed a tigress who had cubs for no reason, and now you're trying to kill the cubs." And there are like so many more people who are more interested in animal welfare now. So I genuinely cannot see, like, at that time, what did I do? I was sitting here and trying to edit videos so that my dad could use them. I was here doing translations and subtitling because I'm useless otherwise. I'm not going to be able to stop a hunter. I can't catch a tigress and keep her safe. I did what I could, but that's what happens. Everyone bands together to do what they can, and it works.
Yeah.
Their little part. Tosi the Mosi says it would need to be an invisible threat
But
regarding the whole extinction metaphor thing.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. If the pandemic is like that, a lot of people say that there's another reason I don't think the comet metaphor works, because like don't look up, like really everyone, the first thing you do when someone says don't look up is they be like, hey, why not? Well, what's up there? So the people aren't that dumb.
Everyone goes against others.
Yeah, at least with the coronavirus, people are like, I can't see it. They're like, your microscope. They're like, no, I'm not going to look into that. I can't see it with my naked eye.
Yeah.
And the comment, they're like, oh, motherfucker, there's something coming towards us. Yes, I guess we're dead.
See, it can be done in many ways. Like movies, it's like a movie that I really like, The Arrival. You remember?
Oh, I remember.
That talks about rising that talks about climate change. The climate change is the basis for the fucking movie.
Yeah. And even
it's
there
so
also they have like an
well done.
outlandish sort of idea following with it, like these
Yeah.
two dudes, Othello and the other alien, I forget his name.
Dudes, I wouldn't call them dudes, but
I wouldn't call, like eldritch horrors probably, but like these two aliens come down and sort of try to give them a message regarding the earth ending or something.
yeah, but that's also such beauty. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like
it's
a
really well
bullshit
done.
alien movie. Also, like
There is a serious tone to it, and
Yeah.
everyone is like caught with the message.
yeah,
So
and
everyone is sort of going along with it. Like, oh, okay, you know what? These guys actually came down just to give us a message regarding this. Okay, maybe there is some truth to it.
you just need
Yeah,
good
they just-
directors. Hey,
It's-
I like,
Yeah, they just make a joke about it every 5
Villeneuve
minutes.
is a really good director. Like he's made a lot of cool movies. Arrival is one of his. Also, the new Blade Runner. But anyways,
Cool
continue.
Zombie Cat says, I'm just joining in. How's this movie, guys? We don't like it, but you should give it a
It's
watch and
fucking-
see what you think.
Yeah.
And Tosi the Mosi
Check
says,
it
how
out
do you convey a scientific concept to those who refuse science? So what I would do is, if you're something like this movie, where I would just put an anti-vaxxer in the movie and explain how, like, I would put out those anti-vax points and be like, you know what, harder, I can't see the virus. And people are like, here, photo of virus, here, microscope of virus. And the anti-vaxxer is like, I can see it, but that doesn't mean it's a threat. And then, maybe there's like, no, maybe there's like a
Are you
scene.
describing what's going on right now.
If you want to make it comedic, like, you're walking down the street and the anti-vaxxer's like, hey, you know what, it's not like it's a serious life-threatening disease or something, and then you see like a hospital where ambulances are just going in and out at all the same time. That would be I mean again, I'm not
offense, bro, I wouldn't watch that shit either.
of course, even I wouldn't watch it. That's the thing. But if I wanted to convey this type of a message,
yeah.
like, there are better ways to do it. Like, show the person, represent them, so they're like, yes, I believe what you believe, and then slowly break it down in a way that doesn't belittle them, where it shows them the proof. Because at the end of the day, the movie is just doing that. It's like, you were wrong all along. The comet was real. We all died. Oops. So now people are going to be like, yeah, but that's a movie. We're not actually going to die. So that's going to be their immediate response. But if you actually show their beliefs and make it the focal point and then slowly break it down, then you have something that where people are going to watch it and be like,
Yeah.
because and I'm not saying this just like as a random thought I had right now. I'm pretty sure Audie has as well, the the Herman Cain Award and r/nursing, where a lot of people have come and said, I did not believe in the vaccine, or I did not believe in this pandemic, but I saw the posts here, I saw the people suffering and dying, and I genuinely changed my mind. Because the way you do that is by showing them the reality of what can happen in a way that doesn't belittle them.
What's worse is, like, more often than not, it's them discovering it just a little too late. Like, just when they could have gotten out of it, like when they finally land up in the hospital, like, oh fuck.
No, a lot of people have genuinely turned around when there's more than enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So
those are the active people who go into the sub knowing that it's like a place where people lambast other people who.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even I've used that sub to talk to my mom. That's what a lot of people do. They use the sub to explain it to other people, and when they do that,
makes sense, yeah.
The other people start to realize, like, holy shit, maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm literally looking at people who are saying the same things as I have, and they've died.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it hit a lot more, in your brain as when it comes to reality, because they think they're like, yeah, whatever. I don't know anyone who's died of it, and then they're like, here's proof. These are not random people. These are people who have literally put out the same things you have on Facebook. And then the last thing is like, fuck, I should have gotten the vaccine. And then they just died.
Mostly the most, he says. I mean, how do you personally convey a scientific concept to a person or community who refuses science, like a one-on-one
like
situation? Basically like that.
So wait.
Research.
Yeah, you do need to give the research. But the main thing is you need to ask them
And
what
you can
their
also
point
be serious
is.
about it, by the way. Like you can also, there are lots of movies that talk about issues and like global issues and social issues in a serious way, like in your face, like raw,
Yeah.
Like, that's also very, you don't always to like quote it in like comedy, which like I'm cool with comedy, it's always amazing.
Yeah.
But you can also be serious and in the face about it,
Yeah.
which a lot of movies do nowadays.
Also, one more thing, like the president of the United States saying like, yeah, we always get like a global level threat. It's no problem. I'm pretty sure when people went to Trump and they were like, yo, this virus entering right now, we need to take measures. He's like, okay, guys, just do this. I need to go take care of my fan base, but you guys do what needs to be done. Okay, make sure this shit don't come near me.
The idea of global level threats is something they made for themselves. Like it's not even global at that point. It's just their own country being under attack because they fucked up in some way.
Exaggerated form of all these like social media distractions. They exaggerated to a level where it affects like the way the parliament.
Yeah, but
And
something
the way
really
countries
stupid.
govern and
Something
stuff.
really stupid about the movie was that it wanted to show things like everyone cares about people's love lives more than actual science, and then in the end, everyone cares about the actual science anyway.
And like, see,
Like at least show people looking at Ariana Grande while the Earth is exploding behind them to prove that point.
Yeah. Like, see, we live in India. Like, we know about celebrity culture, okay? Like, we know where I come from. Like, most of the people here know all that shit.
India, it is celebrity
about it.
culture.
Yes,
Oh wait, you know what?
basically.
My girlfriend dropped this this hashtag on me today, and I legit had no idea what the fuck it was. And she used it as she was saying it ironically, just to be clear, because if she had said it seriously, I would have killed her. But he said hashtag Virushka. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So it turns out it's Virat Kohli plus Anushka Sharma, Virat plus Anushka, so
Can you stop talking
Virushka.
about it? Anyways, stop. But anyways, see, like this is the shit that happens in our country.
Yes.
And people, in spite of knowing this, still know about like dire situations like COVID. They still with masks and shit. So it's not plus saying hashtag whatever the fuck you said and don't know about
Virushka.
COVID. Yeah, exactly. Like you see shopkeeper, like everyone, the guy who's collecting my garbage, he's wearing a mask,
Like I've seen people who wear masks who are mocking the vaccine. Like I've heard them mock the vaccine. And they're like, oh, Corona will get you. And they're wearing masks. I'm like, okay, you're an idiot, but at least you're wearing the freaking mask. And also to come back to the question, which is like, how do you personally convey a scientific concept to a person or a community who refuse science one-on-one? So here's the thing. You have to use facts. You have to accept what they're saying and then explain to them why it doesn't work. And after a point, if they still, despite your best efforts, if they don't listen, you just let yourself go from the situation.
Can I talk about how this is exaggerated? Like, so of course, there are people who are like dumb as fuck and are against these basic, things that are pretty obvious, like climate change and whatnot. But the number is still not that much. It
is very heavily exaggerated. Yeah, it's a very vocal minority.
The thing is, it's like someone says some shit and they're like, oh, people said this shit, everyone thinks this way. No, just a few dumb people think this way. But they exaggerate to such a way like, oh my god, how will you convince all these fucking people? It's a few people.
No, but the main thing is like, if a person is just not ready to accept what you're saying, and they're too far gone, you need to get out of the situation to keep yourself mentally thin. Let me give you a very simple example. Like 10 years ago, okay, a guy in my college, someone who already likes a lot. Oh my god, he heard me talk about Android because I was a huge Android fanboy at the time. And he said, Apple is a class apart. I was like, why? He's like, it's a class apart. I was like, okay, could you give me like one fucking reason? He's like, iMessage sends messages through magic. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you just send a message through the internet. He's like, no, you don't need internet. You don't need SMS. It just sends it through Apple servers. I'm like, dude, how does it go to the Apple servers without internet? He's like, dude, you don't understand. Apple servers are like better than normal servers, okay? They just take the message and send it to the other person. I'm like, it uses the internet. He's like, no. Like, I'm like, SMS? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Even
I'm
to this
freaking
day,
done. I cannot, I don't even know what to tell you right now. If you think that a message can go through servers without the internet. So,
Yes, I have similar experience to you, bro, but I can't talk about them
yeah,
because
makes sense.
we live in India and it's too political. You know about my
Yes,
experiences,
I
but
do.
yeah, yes. So but yeah,
I don't know about this.
sorry, Audi, wrong place.
Yeah, we can tell you after the podcast, basically.
Yes.
But there are people who go to like that extent, and these are like educated people. I'm not even talking about
Yeah.
like India
Yeah,
has a
yeah,
lot of
exactly.
uneducated people, but these are
A
educated
lot.
people who have gone to good schools, who are going to good
Yeah.
colleges, who have such thoughts. So you can be
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there are people here who love celebrity culture who don't even know. Like, suppose if you talk about like an asteroid, bro, who don't even know the sea. Like, they'd be like asteroid and say some shit like that. But they will still understand the urgency
Yeah,
of
they
wearing a
will.
mask, or if
Yeah.
they know they're gonna die in 6 months, they still understand that shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, my God. Jonah Hill's character made me kind of hate Jonah Hill. He's a terrific actor. So none of the actors were utilized well except for Leonardo DiCaprio in that one really emotional speech that he gave. Everyone else is all of them are great actors. They're all very well established as actors in the industry. All of them can do well. It was just that few of them were just like, I don't even know why they existed in the movie. Like a few characters were just, I was like, why? Why would you get someone this high profile and then just make them a background character?
That general, that
Like
fucking
Meryl
military
Streep?
general.
Yeah.
Oh, my video died, I think.
Oh, the
Did it
Ron
die?
Perlman, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
video
Ron
stuck,
Perlman.
yes.
Fucking Hellboy. I was surprised to see his face in the movie.
Should be back.
Yes, back.
But yeah, dude, like they were just showing some weird, like, you know,
So you think it was just a money
Racist.
grab and it was just
No,
popular
I think
actors?
I genuinely think that the people behind it had very good intentions, but I think all
Yeah,
their
of course.
intentions were not shown in the best
down the
way.
drain.
Yeah, we're not hating on the message, we're hitting on
Yeah.
the delivery method.
Yeah,
That's all.
being very
The shit
clear
way of delivering
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
Like
Yes. Yes, we're being please understand
Yeah.
that. And bro, can you repeat it?
we trust science, okay? Proven scientific methods. Things might keep changing. We might get new information, and we will change our views according to what actually makes sense. We love the fact that they're encouraging more people to look at the environment and climate change and COVID and so on. But as a movie, it does not do well.
It was fucking
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
It started off with a few like comedy bits into it, and then it just quickly just became like, you know what, fuck you, you're wrong, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I got tired. I'm like, dude, just please, can you like say anything else other than a giant fuck you to everybody who's watching? Because that's what it became after a point.
Toasty the Most, he says, can we agree the movie was a great satirical representation of American propaganda?
I wouldn't.
I-
It's American. It's basically American propaganda. I would say it's not
Yeah.
a satirical
It's not even
representation.
satirical at that point.
Hmm.
It's just them
Like,
saying that
I don't know
US
if
is the
you're
best. They
American.
just keep yelling that out loud. They basically could have just done that.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
But it's the
American
same
or
thing.
not, but in the movie, as a foreigner, the movie basically screamed out to me that you know what, the world relies on US. If US can't do anything, none of you other fuckers, all the other poor ass countries are just dead, which is disingenuous at best. It's just not how it works, Chief. In fact, like if you look at like the top dogs in US companies right now, they're all Indians.
Yeah, they are fucking. Which is still not like the argument we are making that
Yeah.
we're better or anything. Everyone is the same. Everyone is shit. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a normal American movie, I would say. Like, you know, no American movie I've seen actually recognizes the rest of the world as existing.
The world.
And also, by the way, the Earth is supposed to be destroyed by tsunamis and shit like that. The giant explosions. Did you guys notice that at the end, the Earth was like exactly the same? All the countries have exactly the same shape. Water hasn't taken over everything. Nothing has exploded. The Earth looks the same, except it just looks like it's on fire.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. There are lots of continuity issues throughout the movie. Also, like the part where Jonah Hill gets hit here with the bottle, and then next scene in the space station, he's totally chill, like cool, like nothing ever happened, you know. Like if you like, he doesn't have a wound
Nothing,
or a
yes.
band-aid or a cut, you know. He's just chilling, like Shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be hurt.
My God.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a sign of a bad movie. Continuity issues. But see, I literally have nothing to say. I wouldn't even have watched this if he didn't.
Yeah, like my
recommend it.
dad watched it and he was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, if my dad is saying that as an interaction.
But I don't know, dude. Like, yeah, there are much better ways to do it. I guess
Mostly the
try
Mostly
again,
says, I
try
mean, about
harder.
the political propaganda, the catchphrases, hashtags, talker hats, rallies, media corruption, etc.
We
Yeah,
don't
sure.
understand.
It's. I wouldn't call it satire.
What
I would
is-
just call it like direct mocking. I would just
Yeah.
call it belittling, so to speak.
Yeah, it isn't satire. Yeah, I wouldn't call it satire at all. Like, there is, I don't know about like we talked about what is satire and isn't, right? Like we made this to, like, for example, Jojo Rabbit, like that's satire, but here you're just directly,
Mostly the Mostly is
doing it on
defying the
Shitting on
bot. I see.
everyone's.
what,
Yeah, you saw the bot,
A,
right?
a bot
This
said
was a weird-
you said ECT instead of EPC for etc. And Mostly was like, I'll still do it.
But yeah, a lot of, like, for example, I would call a movie like Borat satire.
Yeah.
That is.
Which it
That is
clearly is. It's pretty obviously satire. Like, you can't take that movie seriously. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious.
There were complaints. Like, guy, the village that's supposed to have hosted him, Sasha Baron Cohen. They apparently thought that it was very disingenuous or very offensive to their culture, so to speak. But then
Yes.
Sasha Baron Cohen was like,
Yeah,
this
but
is
it's
supposed to be
true.
like
It
a
is true. Yeah,
I
there
guess-
are people like that
Yeah.
for
I guess
sure.
so, sure.
I've seen them around.
Yeah.
But yes.
our country
But
is full of them.
anyways, yeah.
One movie that I think really did a good job of getting out its message very subtly and actually making people think is shit. Oh my God, something about the first liar or the invention of the lie or something like that.
Oh, the invention. Yeah. The Ricky Gervais one. Yeah, that was an amazing.
Lie, was it?
Yes.
The invention
I
of
know.
lying.
I know what
That's
you're
the one.
talking-
Yeah.
Yeah, the invention of
okay,
lying. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Where everyone just kept saying the truth. Yeah.
Also, a great movie that talks about, like, fucking Wall-E.
My God.
Fucking Wall-E.
That is
That's
true,
an
yeah.
amazing movie. Yeah. There are ways to do it.
Yeah. But the thing about the invention of lying is that it starts off with
And also,
with
Doctor Strangelove.
yeah, Doctor Strangelove. It's
Come on. Fuck.
Yeah, but the invention of lying, what it does is like this goes with the what Toasty the Mostly was asking as well. So Toasty the Mostly, if you don't know, the invention of lying is a movie where everybody is forced to tell the truth. Like they just tell the truth. They don't know what a lie is. And even their movies are just like historical readings of what happens in the world. And this one guy figures out how to lie. He tells a lie. Then he's like, wait, I didn't say the truth. But then this person believed me. Okay, they think I'm telling the truth. And then he starts lying about things to make everyone feel better. And then he realizes his mom is dying. And she asks him, like, what's there after death? And he tells her our world's version of what's after death in Christianity. And she's like, oh, wow, I'm going to such a happy place. And he just sits there and cries because he knows he lied to his mom and that it wasn't true. And then he basically takes the pizza box and writes the 10 commandments over there and goes out to the public and says, here is what you should believe. Here is what God says.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my God, this guy's telling the truth. Of course he's telling the truth. Nobody can lie. And
Yeah.
that made me think, and I was already like, God's a lie. I was already like that at that point. And then I was sitting there and I'm like, the 10 commandments on a pizza box. Yes. And it
Also-
actually made a lot of other people think as well. Like I asked a few acquaintances what they thought of it, and they were like, yes. बहुत सोच रहा था मैं उसके बाद.
Yeah, and also another movie which I saw recently by one of my favorite directors, Jim Jarmusch, The Dead Don't Die, which is one of his like latest movies. Like that gives a better commentary on our current situation, you know. Like it's like, yeah, you see it as a zombie, but it's not really that, you know. That's just, you know, that's on the surface.
Yeah.
It's actually about like our current generation, how we're obsessed with all these small things like zombies, right? Basically are people who are like, obsessed with their phone or this or whatever, and they hang around those areas. And the movie is satire, like it jokes about itself, like that the characters are like, oh, we're driving this, when the theme song kicks in and then the theme song starts playing, like they break the fourth wall. It's a very nice movie, but it also takes itself seriously when it's talking about these serious issues and the state that the state that our world is in.
Yeah, of
And
course.
like he's done a fucking amazing job. But 1,000% like tell people like go watch the Dead Don't Die. If you want to make people like Dead Don't Die, Invention of all these movies we've been talking about, right? Invention of Lying, and like these will give you a much better idea of how to deliver a message like this.
Yeah,
than
like something that makes you stop and think. This movie didn't make me stop and
Exactly.
think. It just made me realize
Yeah.
that I was supposed to be laughing at this portrayal of a very clear real life figure, and I was like,
Yeah.
not
You
nah.
did describe it well. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
God damn it. Like the potential it had with all the actors, with all the cinematographers, the directors, everything. It just fell
Dude,
short.
I don't even care much about the director. Like he's literally.
He was behind the
animated or
Anchorman,
whatever.
right?
Yeah, but
Who?
I forgot his name. You know me and names already. I
Adam McKay.
literally forgot everyone's name. I don't even remember half the cast name, to be very honest. I
don't
just keep
remember any of
forgetting.
the cast name.
I just know the main four: the Jennifer Lawrence, DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, and Jonah Hill.
And they just the don't look up thing. Like you know that thing where you say don't think of a white elephant, and then everyone's like, "Fuck you! You made me think of exactly that."
Yeah.
It's like don't look up. Like what? Why can't I look up? And especially like if you're trying to mock right wingers, that's like exactly what they'll do. Like if somebody's like don't look up, they're like, no, bitch, I have the right to look up. I'll look up or I can shoot your ass. I don't know. That was extremely stereotypical, but yeah, you get it.
Shoot your But yes, anyways, I'm done. I guess you have anything to say, Audie? Do you have anything to
Nah.
say? Final thoughts, Audie? Closing.
Oh wait, this thing. One thing I want to say is, another thing that really made me like one of the reasons I thought of the humanity comes together thing is because I just caught up to Dr. Stone, right? And that is basically very similar. It's an extinction level threat where the entirety of humanity is
Oh, yeah.
petrified. And one kid is in Japan, another person is in the USA, another person is in different places around the world, and they figure out how to restart civilization in their own ways, and they figure out how to keep moving on. Like that's the main thing. You're always going to keep moving on. Like it like the world's gonna tell you that everything sucks, but there is hope. It depends on what kind of worldview I have. For me, the hope is that it's not exactly hope because I'm like I wish humanity would end right now. Like just Thanos snapped.
It's not for you. For you, it's not hope, but
For the general world, it is hope.
You even like for someone who doesn't have hope, you're like, yeah, we're gonna be here for a long
Yeah.
time. So that's the answer in itself.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to say more. Yeah.
Humanity will just persevere. That's my final closing thought. You can go.
No, I got no closing thoughts on it.
You have to give a closing thought.
Just give a closing thought, Audie. Ag's Labyrinth is very good, yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Who wants to play Dota 2 with us? Forget COVID and climate change. Let's play some Vidya games.
Gamers.
But
But
I'm
yes.
surprised. I'm surprised that you had like this. Well, you said you had like a monologue going on. I didn't expect you to, go full passionate about the whole topic.
Telling you, it's just my writer's brain. See, I can write it out and I can act it out. It's Netflix hire me, dude. Like, what the fuck are you hiring these guys for? I'll be much cheaper than them.
Soon.
You give them 10 million, I'll give you like $500K, and I'm like ready right out. Not even dollars.
Soon,
Like,
wink, wink. Soon,
Wink,
soon.
Soon.
Wink, wink.
it'll work.
But anyways.
But yes, thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Toasty the Mosty, for
Thank you
having
so much.
a nice discussion with us.
Yeah, we enjoyed
and,
that a lot actually. Yeah, thank
challenging
you.
the bot.
Long conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that.
And thank you,
Appreciate
Thought General, for all your comments as well and your compliments. And a little bit of shade throwing to our YouTube audience.
Yeah, where you boys
Yeah,
at, eh?
Random Otaku, Forest Dan, Control 9K, all of you
Abandoning
are
us.
just missing
They're
today.
all
You're
dead.
there every single stream, and today you just disappeared. I'm sad. Look at me, I'm sad.
Very disheartened. Yeah, Brew is sad.
They are pure weebs. They just come for the anime content.
They just come
Dunticles.
for weeb shit, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, people, I don't want to watch people. Show me anime.
Yeah, show me like 2D people. 2D people
Yeah.
best.
Yes.
Yes, that's it, guys. That's it for this episode. Thank you all for joining in. We
Thank
shall
you
be
so
back
much.
in
2 days.
With the
Sunday.
movie, we'll be back next week. We'll finally do Fear and Loathing. Audi, please watch it.
Yes.
We'll do
We'll
that.
do Fear and Loathing,
We'll be
yeah.
back on Sunday at this time for random shit about our lives. So if you want to hear about our
Yes.
fun lives, which are not fun at all.
Very exciting. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, very exciting.
The other day, I ate a sandwich.
Oh
and
my
the day
God.
after that, I
In the
ate
next
a
episode, we
pizza.
will tell you what we ate for breakfast. As it was asked.
Yes. But that's it. Thank you all for joining. We should see you in
Thank
3
you.
days. Bye bye.
Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Hmm.